glow. In a room full of glitter, yarn and glue, there's a wild little whirlwind tearing right through. She's got half-knit scarves and decoupled dreams, a hot glue gun and impossible schemes.
Fabrics flying, buttons ring from the sky. She says I'll finish it later, but we both know that's a lie. She's not here for your order, your schedule, your flow. She's a snarky little sprite that we all call Mo. I glow, leaving chaos wherever she goes. She's the queen of to be finished, but her magic's never diminished, 'cause Mo's gonna craft till the moon's hanging low. Yeah, sassy and snarky and slightly.
Hey you guys, I told you I would show you at the start of a new project. Now, there is a way to do this that is not chaotic and involves wetting the fabric and using a, little thing that they send you to stuff the fabric into the grooves. And I realize as I am doing the voiceover for this that I am not a videographer. But basically the gist is that you want to get the edge of the canvas into these grooves, and then this long plastic thing kind of just tucks the fabric in there. Now you're supposed to wet the fabric and use this little accompanying plastic knife thing and stick it into the groove. I don't do that, partially because I am worried about the moisture wicking up onto the water-soluble ink, but also because that just is fiddly and takes time, and they said, allow about 20 minutes for that, and that is 20 more minutes than my chaotic brain can do something when I am on a mission to do something, which makes no sense except if it makes sense. I have no time to do something correctly when I want to get it done, and I know from experience I can do this right enough for me. So I will be, I do have another scrolling frame on the way, so I will be able to show you a little better, hopefully, kind of how to do this, but this is generally just how I do it. Now, as you can see, it probably took just about the same amount of time for me to fiddle fart with it, then doing it the correct way. Again, don't do as I do as I say. Otherwise, this is probably the most fiddly part of an entire cross-stitch thing that I don't like. You do have to make sure it is fairly level. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly on level, but to get the right tension in the canvas, you do have to be somewhat mindful of, it being not going cattywampus or wonk-eyed or anything like that. So I have done this, I believe this is my second kit on this scrolling frame, so I do have a knack for it, but as always, I would recommend you following the directions and not making, all the random mistakes that I do most of the time, because that is no good. It's no bueno. I'm going to speed this up just a bit since you can kind of see as it's going through. So I have gotten a little bit of a knack for this. Now, one second. Yeah, it is a bit of a, kind of probably the most physical part of cross stitch. If it were to be a sport, this is probably the part that is the most not sit down and fiddly bit of it. But you do get a really nice tension, and I do like the scrolling frame if you like your canvas to be taut, which I do. It is nice. It is also, I do enjoy having a flat surface. Now, when it comes to, as you can see, there is a legend printed on the canvas, when we get a little bit further along into the video, that will make more sense as to why I tell you to cut off the little legend from your pattern. Because as you can see, the legend that is printed on the canvas is going to be out of sight. Sorry about that. The gods of the internet do not like me today, and Mr. Mo is at church, so I need him to install Mozilla Firefox. But let's get back to crafting. So, as you can see, the legend is going to be not available for you. Now, some people do like to keep their entire patterns open to them if they have any, confusion about colors that are printed on the canvas. I don't typically do that. I just cut out the legend. So there you go. And once you do get the kind of hang of it, it's not as hard or fiddly to do it, but I recommend doing the right way the first time before you fiddle and do all the, things. I apologize for my room. It is a mess. What can you do? I have realized with chronic pain that my bed becomes my office much more, which is, always interesting. So that's basically the two ways that you attach to a scrolling frame, and then these are your legs. Now, I wind them back to their original, distance. So, and I usually roll under. I got that tip from another YouTube crafty person who does this, and she likes to put her phone in the little space under. So I thought that was a great idea because I do also use my phone. So now this particular scrolling frame was $80. It is a bit larger. They do have smaller ones. I tend to pick bigger projects, so I went ahead and invested in a larger one. And I have found that it's large enough that if you have a standard recliner and you don't want to buy a table or a stand, then it works very well to kind of balance, and you have a kind of your own lap stand on the armchair. So it'll depend on your comfort, but I definitely have been a fan of the scrolling frame. So, it's a bit fiddly, but I definitely have enjoyed the scrolling frame setup that I have now. And yes, the green fluffy blanket. And setting things up. Now, the real mystery, the real treat for you guys is you get to see I have legs. I am not, in fact, a disembodied torso. I think I turned it off just a bit so I could get in. Oh, yeah. There you go. Had to set us back up. So this is the thread organizer. I kind of pimped these out. These are $9 on Amazon. This is the 50 thread one. It comes with these little white papers to go in, and from 1 to this particular kit has 45 threads. So it has a spot for every single thread. It even has these little felt pieces that you can go through and show, have a needle ready to go for a lot of threads that are quite useful in the thing. It does take a bit to set up here, so let me speed on through because I was trying to get it so you me go back a little bit. So that's me just writing everything, and this is what the picture will eventually look like. As you can see, I've got cats, I've got all the things in my room. My bed generally becomes cat central, along with young Gizmos Feral, as you saw, you know, with his VR headset. So even if I'm sitting down, I usually have a crowd. And my CRPS medicine just hanging out on my bed because it is my office. Slightly embarrassed, but there you go. It is what it is. Now, this is what I do. You do not have to do this, but I take this legend right here and I cut that sumbitch off because I don't want to have to unfold the entire basically pattern every time I look at things. So I did say this was going to be a longer video because we're basically just going to go through. Now, when I first get the kit, I go through and I match every string with its number, and I put the number in ink on the little cardboard thing. And then I double check again as I'm putting it on. I'm too type A to function, basically. But there was a mistake and I was able to catch it because I double check like that. Now, these are all steps you don't have to do. You could simply keep them on their little cardboard thing, the way the kit comes. But I find these thread organizers to be the best. Now, Thor the cat does like whatever is in the plastic sort of polyurethane that holds the threads together. Thor loves that. He is a destroyer of these things. Now, they do have smaller ones that are for 30 threads. I typically just get the 50 thread one just because. Now, there are some threads that, you know, they're going to have a lot of colors or multiples, and I simply keep those in a separate plastic bag and refill the thread organizer as I need it. I have found that these thread organizers, you know, keep everything clean and neat, keeps things from getting tangled, and I've just really liked them. So I did promise you guys that I would show you going through and setting up a new kit, and there's something relaxing to me about kind of taking all the chaos of all the threads and putting it into a nice organized area. Now, I do typically do this with my phone next to me in case I have any questions or concerns that there might have been a mix-up. I can quickly look up the DMC number and you know, check the color against the color that I have in my hand, and you know, double triple check. So it's you know, pretty nice to have a setup and a good bit of space just to be able to, you know, make sure you've got everything. Now, it's also really good with a kit with a lot of, like, say, earth tones or skin tones to check all of those, you know, similar tone colors, just to make sure that, you know, if you're really worried, double check them before you put them in the organizer, before you take the cardboard piece off, because, you know, it is easier to double check than to fix a mistake all the way through a big old giant project. But that's just kind of what you do at the beginning of a project. I always like to keep the picture of the final project in front of me when I'm getting this, just to make sure that there's no, like, colors of randomness. It hasn't happened to me, but I am paranoid that they'll send the wrong color, or that there'll be something completely out. So I do like to have it and double check and reference. But do whatever works for you. I just with the larger kits and the amount of thread that you get, or floss, or whatever we want to call it, I I do get paranoid. Now, when you get duplicates, I just put those to the side, and then put them in the plastic bag or container, because you will get, obviously there's, you know, some solid background colors, so there will be extensive amounts of certain colors and very few of the others. And I've also found this organizer deals with the kind of gambit you're going to get from a lot of thread or floss to very little and holding it secure. Now, bulkier amounts, not as much, so I don't overfill. I might only use half of the cardboard thing if it's overfull or overstuffed like that. But it will be a personal preference. Now, to keep this away for your cats, I think I have given you that warning, because the dangling, you know, well, just cascade of threads is tempting. It's entrapment. I get it. But they tend to love this. I did pick out the worst projects to do with furry overlords in my house: cross-stitching, crochet, and diamond painting. They seem to be inordinately fascinated with all of them. So and I find this part to be very relaxing. You might not, but I find it, you know, kind of getting a new project started. It might seem daunting to me, but it's always to, you know, you to start a whole new project when you just, you know, are pretty much done with the next one, and then start off with this whole new blank canvas of crazy colors. But I find it very relaxing and kind of exciting to start a new project, especially when I know it's going to be a gift. My oldest daughter is going to have her very first, you know, kind of semi-adult campus apartment, and I think that this is just a great message, and, you know, something that has enough color that it can go with anything, but it's not too floral. So I really like this whole pattern, this color scheme. I think I had to take a break here, but and do double check. I had to take a moment to triple check, since you have 3 colors very similar in a row. I wanted to make sure I put those in the correct one. Obviously, you can see there is a mistake there, so this is where double checking, taking your time, and really making sure that you're doing your due diligence at the beginning of a project is helpful, as much as it's nutty. Or it seems a little persnickety, and it is funny. So it will be interesting. It is always interesting to start a new project for me. Now, as you get closer to the end, it might be harder to, you know, double check and make sure, but do be mindful to check all your threads. It saves you time, and especially with this kit, they put a lot of like colors very close together, which is probably good for, you know, the pattern and everything, but does make you worry when you're setting up if you're doing it absolutely correctly. So it's just always good to kind of have that double check the legend, the pattern, and all those things. And, you know, marking down the numbers, double checking. It just helps me. You don't have to do it, but it definitely has saved my behind a couple times. I've been doing this for about 5 years. Now, mostly self-taught, so if there are, you know, unorthodox things that I am doing, well, I didn't learn them from anyone. I made it up myself, so take it up with management. But that's not what this channel is about. I mean, some channels, I will give you the tips and tricks that work for me. I honestly don't know that there are any rights or wrongs for cross-stitch. And this is kind of how it will look at the end when you filled in all of your threads. It does look a bit chaotic, but on the top, and I have used these for about 3 years. I haven't run into, it does look like chaos at the bottom, but I haven't run into a lot of kinking or knotting or issues like that. So I do want to assure you that I would never put a product on here that I don't trust. I have used this particular kind of organizer for a while. Now I am double checking right here to make sure that the mistake I made with the color was corrected. So I was double triple checking, which is why it was taking so long. But I do get worried about that. This kit, I believe, was about $40. So, you know, altogether, so with the setup and everything, for the embroidery stand, it was $120. The scrolling frame is $80, and then as you can see, we're just starting on the project. Youngest most feral, still with his stuff, trying to look. My videographic skills are what they are. I was trying. I think the camera went out, so there you go. Well, let me go back to where I actually had a picture, because, you know, what in the name of Cheetos? Okay, well, I hope you guys appreciate this. Like I said, sorry about the technical difficulties and the taking forever, but this has just been a super long summer, and I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the support for this. I am looking at possibly getting a camera that tracks me. They're not super duper expensive, and with my birthday money, that way maybe it'll be easier for me to just kind of craft while I'm doing stuff, because that is the one thing that is stopping me from filming as much, is getting used to moving the camera with me. I will find that I've been crafting for a while and haven't been video crafting anything, and it's maddening. I am trying to give you guys a good product, and I sometimes fail at it, but I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate so much all the support, and let's get into this new project, you guys. I cannot wait.